All right, good morning. We're going to get started right on time, hopefully today. So those of you still finding your seats, you can do that now. My name is Mr. Karsten, and I am the Winterim coordinator, and this is Winterim Chapel. Every year, I get a little anxious when it comes time to planning the Winterim catalog. My worry each year is, what will the theme be? Now, I know that whatever theme I choose, Mrs. Kragsman's going to do something amazing with it, and she did again this year. I mean, look at that. So cool. She painted each of those stamps individually and then scanned them down and compiled that cover, which is amazing. But I get worried because I have to pick the concept. This year, I had this image in my head of a collection of stamps. And so first, a fun fact. Did you know that stamp collecting is actually known as philately? That is a great word. I think you should turn to your neighbor and just say philately. Yes, now you know something new. Another fun fact, I learned this from the West Wing. The postmaster appoints a citizen stamps advisory committee, and they get to decide what goes on a stamp. They get their ideas from the public. I guess they get 50,000 suggestions every year. And then they choose 30 to 40 stamps that they'll release each year. I mean, that sounds like my dream job. Just once a month, get together and decide what 3 stamps we're going to let go. Often these things are people. Presidents always get a stamp when they pass away. Non-presidential people, like this year, we're going to get one for Bruce Lee and Muhammad Ali. Last year, we got one for Betty White. They have to wait at least 3 years after they have passed away in order to get a stamp. How do these things get chosen? Well, according to their site, the CSAC chooses subjects, it's not just people, to honor, in order to honor extraordinary and enduring contributions to American society, history, culture, or environment. So basically, the CSAC decides what belongs on a stamp basically on what has helped impact or form America in positive ways. And I suppose that's kind of why this theme worked, at least in my head. It's similar to what we hope from in Winterim as well. I mean, obviously not impacting America, but each of you. Whether it's Life Together, all the other courses in the catalog, whether it's our travel experiences, our internships, or our college visits, our hope as a school is to put together a group of opportunities that will have a positive impact on you and your futures. And so we're here to celebrate some of those opportunities today. I hope you enjoy this year's Winterim Chapel, and if you have ideas for a theme for next year, please don't hesitate to let me know. But let's start today with a word of prayer. Let's pray. God, thank you for this place. Thank you for the amazing opportunities our students get to experience in and through this place. Thank you for the students that will share some of those opportunities that happened last January this morning. Help them as they sing and sign and speak. Please let this entire chapel be a celebration of the ways that you bless us, challenge us, and help us grow into your servants. In your name we pray. Amen. All right, now Riley is going to come up and say something.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. My name is Riley Anderson, and I went to Jamaica Deaf Village this past Winterim. Going on a trip can be super daunting, and about a week before, I was really unsure if I still wanted to go. I had worked all summer to raise the money I could to go on this once-in-a-lifetime experience, but after careful consideration, I decided to go. This decision was maybe the best decision I've ever made in my life. I loved it there. With not many close friendships, I was forced to talk to people I normally wouldn't, and even worse, use ASL to communicate with the deaf people. Being fully immersed in ASL is like something you never could ever imagine. You truly lose one of your senses and begin to realize you look so stupid. On our first workday in Jamaica, I was in a group with someone named Alex, who became a great friend to me and others. My first time ever signing to a deaf person, I was so excited I couldn't even think. Others had been talking to Alex for a little bit, and we started talking about the cows in the morning and how someone would wake up to herd them. I waved at Alex to get his attention, and in my mind, I asked, "Can I wake up to herd the cows with you?" But according to his reaction, that is definitely not what I said. The no that he signed was equivalent to someone yelling no at me because I apparently asked if I could wake up with him. I was so embarrassed, but decided to move on. Alex had us working on painting a gate to a door. Hopeful, we kept asking him if our painting on the gate looked good, but to our surprise, he signed this, which means bad in ASL. Then he repeatedly told us to take our time because it had looked so bad. One thing to acknowledge is that for us to communicate with Alex, we had to stop what we were doing and sign. So we took that to our advantage and used all the basic practice questions we had memorized in ASL focus times. We talked to him for about 2 hours, and just in those 2 hours, my eyes were opened. The question, how can someone actually not be able to hear, repeated in my mind until we left the village. I loved being able to play soccer, volleyball, and card games with everyone, and I started to realize that some people in the deaf village might actually be as competitive as me. I was getting bored of euchre playing Mr. Karsten because I won so much, so I decided to join the intense game of cover your assets. I don't think I've ever heard so much table hitting and seen so many threats in ASL, but playing that game in Jamaica with deaf people, trying to explain the rules, was truly the greatest experience I could ask for. On Sunday, we attended church with some people from the deaf village at the School for Deaf Children. Demel, one of my good friends in Jamaica, led the service. One of the daughters of someone from the deaf village was interpreting for us, and even though we couldn't understand what he was signing, it was great to hear his message. At the end of the service, the Winterim group had the chance to perform a song in ASL in front of the deaf community that was at the service.
Hi, my name is Andy, and for Winterim this year, I took a class called Family History Detectives, led by Mr. Vanderwerf. I'd always wanted to mess around with Ancestry.com to uncover some information about my family's history, and this class offered the perfect opportunity to do just that. In this class, we use Ancestry and other resources to build our very own family trees, which was even more fun than I had expected. I found all sorts of old documents online from my ancestors' lives, US Census records, immigration manifests, obituaries, and so on. Easily my favorite part of the class was the day we took a field trip to the public library in downtown Grand Rapids. In the genealogy section of the library, I found a book over 100 pages long that detailed the life of my great-great-great-grandfather and his family, including their initial voyage to America from the Netherlands, which was a super cool find. No one in my family had known this book even existed, so it was super fun to tell them about it. Looking through my family history, besides just being an engaging pastime, was also a humbling experience. Looking at my ancestor's story really served as a reminder that I am just a small part of a much bigger picture. To see how extensive my family history is really put into perspective how great of a creator our God truly is. Up next, we'll hear a bit about Radio Free Grand Rapids from Merrick Rodewald.
Hello. Many of you might know me as the guy who occasionally comes up here to play bass guitar for chapel, but my name is Merrick and I'm a freshman. I recently had the privilege to be in the Radio Free Grand Rapids Winterim class, which was run by Mr. Sloggy. And overall, I gotta say, the class was a blast. The first few days, we got to learn about the history of the radio, for example, who created it or how it rose to popularity. And then we got to go to the WCSG radio station. And if any of you listened to them, you might have heard me or my classmates on their Saturday Sidekick episodes. They essentially interviewed us about a few different topics like Two Truths and a Lie or trying to guess a song, which, in all honesty, I was not good at. We were also able to create our own hour-long radio show at WYCE radio station, and it was all about folk music. We had to choose 4 folk artists from a list that was given to us, and then we each had to choose 2 or 3 songs by those artists. We talked a little bit about who the artist was and also what those songs were about. And it was an interesting experience, but it was a lot of fun. And I would highly recommend it to anybody who is interested in radio or music in general. Now, the radio is a communications device, and I think it very easily connects to the communicators and collaborators section of our Portrait of a Graduate in that sense. But also, I think the collaboration aspect is there, even though it is not as clear, especially because we as a class worked together to create our own radio show, and we all had our own sections, but we all had to carefully create our show so that it all fit together and was a good show. There's also a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes with editing, because you definitely don't get it on the first take, and also putting together all of the music and just making it all fit together. Now, up next is a video that highlights the courses of Winterim.
I'm Ezra Ipple.
I'm Dex Leo.
My name is Aiden Winters.
My name is Noelle Coons. My name is Charlotte Muller.
My name is Caleb Pugh.
All right, my name is Jeremiah McNeil.
My name is Tahani DeBard.
I'm Louise Liu, and I'm a senior. My morning class.
I like that we get to serve others. I mean, there's many trips that are going to different places to serve, and in Life Together even, we got to do a few service projects, and I think that was really cool that God asks us to serve, and that's what we've been doing.
I've connected with my friends throughout every single Winterim that I've done. I've connected with new people. I've made lasting relationships with a ton of my peers. During Tee to Green, I really enjoyed going to the driving range and being able to hit over there. I think I hit maybe 600 balls, and I tried to just get better with every single one.
Woodworking, I would definitely say the process of making the tiny benches. They were just so fun to make, especially with all the laughs that we had, even while getting cuts too. It was very enjoyable, very fun, knowing that it's going to kids who will usually use them and use them for the next 20 so years. I've seen God in Winterim everywhere, especially in the times that I share with people around me. I feel as though the morning devotions that we have in woodworking have allowed me to connect them to what we're actually doing.
Well, I've always really struggled with my faith, but in Winterim it's nice to see how we're connecting Christian perspectives to what we can do in our life. We're building things for theater to glorify God because we are the Grand Rapids Christian Stage Company, and there's Christian in the name for a reason. And for psychology and film, it's just getting community and talking with each other, watching movies together, and it's just fun to hang out together.
I definitely saw God in the service projects we did with Life Together. I mean, I didn't really do a crazy big service project. I went to Iroquois and kind of helped out with the kids, which was fun. And then watercolor, I got to see God through kind of doing paintings and stuff of nature, and I got to learn a lot how truly intricate and how great His creation is.
I could see God through working out and working hard to achieve the goals that He's placed in front of me. Oh, and butter, sugar, flour, we made succulent cupcakes. So we decorated cactuses on top of them, which was really cool. I feel like we're definitely working on the harder side in the Christian Fit Body Boot Camp. We create our own workout plans, and we've been sticking through them throughout the week. It's been going really well.
I would say just the way the GRPD, the way they go and fight crime and do all these things to kind of promote justice in our society. I think that was really cool, and that's definitely something that God loves to see.
Food and fitness, I like that we went ice skating on the first day, and then half of the class we got to cook, and I think also another day we did a Master Chef episode type, and we had judges come, and I think that was really fun because we didn't know the secret ingredient. And Mr. Warner's, we knew it was going to be a crazy idea because he picked it. So I think that was one of the most the best experiences I've had in that class.
I like drawing. I haven't been drawing for a long time, and it's a new start for me to start drawing again. It's like fate. It's all planned, and for me, I think it's the best result here. It's not my first choice, or it's not in my plan, but now
I'm really happy with my class, and I love the experience.
Good morning, I'm Alex Rakutumalala. I'm a senior and I went to the Grand Canyon Winterim. I knew most of the people that went to the trip, so that really motivated me to go. And I also really enjoy outdoorsy activities. That's why it was such a great opportunity for me. Throughout the trip, everyone got along very well, and we talked endlessly, made jokes, and had a lot of fun times together. And my favorite part of this trip was when we made it to the Colorado River. It was an experience to slowly hear it from afar, echoing between the huge walls of the canyon as we walked closer. It felt so good to finally let go of my pack and dig my feet in the sand. We played some hacky sack, swam in the cold river, and had some deep conversation with each other while stargazing until we fell asleep. I'm really grateful to all the people who went to the trip for creating memories that will never be forgotten.
Hi, my name is Caroline Hester. I'm a senior, and I also had the privilege of going on the Grand Canyon trip for Winterim this year. This trip was more amazing than I ever could have imagined it being. However, that being said, I was under the impression that Arizona was supposed to be warm, but it was pretty far from warm while we were there. One of my favorite memories from the trip was when we went camping on the bank of the Colorado River, and before we went to bed, we went stargazing. 6 of us climbed up a small sandy hill and sat atop a square-ish rock. Without our headlamps on and not a cloud in the sky, you could see everything clearly. Shooting stars, constellations, even the Milky Way itself. It was absolutely incredible. One of the most beautiful things I've ever seen, and it's probably the most blatantly I've seen God. There were so many other amazing things on this trip, from all the things we saw to the other people who were on it, to all the food that we made. My favorite meal was the pesto tortellini. It's not an easy trip, but it pushes you in every single way to help you grow physically, mentally, and spiritually. This trip is everything that Winterim is all about, learning more about God and growing closer to Him, and I will continue to recommend this trip to anyone who asks me about it for as long as I possibly can.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Yar, and for this year's Winterim, I had the unique opportunity to participate in a 2-week internship with my grandma, Ellen Only, at her real estate firm, Bella Bay Realty. This experience provided me with a first-hand look into the professional world of property management and sales across West Michigan. Throughout my internship, we toured 3 residential homes and 2 commercial buildings, providing me with multiple perspectives of a realtor. Beside the physical tours, Ellen mentored me on the professional path toward becoming a realtor. I learned that the process requires completing 40 hours of approved classroom education and passing a rigorous state exam to earn a license. This introduction to the industry was both educational and inspiring, providing me with a decent view that can help shape my decision on pursuing a career in this field. The technical side of the internship was equally interesting. As I dove into the legal and media aspects of real estate, I was studying my grandma's real estate exam prep book, and I was particularly drawn to the Fair Housing Act, which is a federal law that ensures no one is discriminated against when renting or buying a home based on race, color, national origin, religion, sex, family status, or disability. I felt drawn to this because we were all made in God's image, and it doesn't really make sense for people to try and discriminate against others because of those. And I just felt like that was valuable information. To expand my learning, I watched 2 distinct shows, the Parisian agency Exclusive Properties, which is a family-owned luxury brokerage in France that deals with high-end estates, and Hometown, which focuses on Ben and Aaron Napier as they restore historical homes in the South while selling them to potential buyers. I also witnessed the final agreements between a property closing in Muskegon, which I reviewed the complex legal documents and signatures required to transfer ownership. Despite having to cancel a scheduled open house due to bad weather conditions, the internship remained a highlight of my winter. One of my favorite moments was helping her show a commercial building to potential buyers. Seeing their genuine enthusiasm for the space made me feel incredibly accomplished and proud of the work we were doing. Interacting with the clients and seeing their excitement firsthand deepened my interest in the industry. Overall, this internship was a valuable opportunity to explore a potential career path, and I'm grateful for the chance that I had to learn the ropes from somebody experienced as my grandma. Please remain seated for the internship video.
The wind is moving, but I am standing still. A life of pages waiting to be filled. A heart that's hopeful, a head that's full of dreams. But this becoming is harder than it seems. Feels like I'm looking for a reason, roaming through the night to find my place in this world, my place in this world. Not a lot to lean on, I need your light to help me find my place in this world, my place in this world. If there are millions down on their knees among the many, can you still hear me? Hear me asking, where do I belong? Is there a vision that I can call my own? Show me. I'm looking for a reason, roaming through the night to find my place in this world, my place in this world. Not a lot to lean on, I need your light to help me find my place in this world, my place in this world, my place in this world. Looking for a reason, roaming through the night to find my place in this world, my place in this world. Not a lot to lean on, I need your light to help me find my place in this world, my place in this world.
Hi, my name is Celia Court. I'm a senior, and for Winterim, I got to intern with a physical therapist and a labor and delivery nurse. I got to observe lots of different PT appointments and help patients with their PT exercises. I also got to see several deliveries and C-sections, including one of twins. I learned a lot about healthcare and about nursing in a hospital setting specifically. I learned a lot about the schooling involved in becoming a nurse or a physical therapist, as well as what those jobs can look like on a day-to-day basis. Getting to experience the jobs firsthand was very helpful and informative in helping me make decisions about what I want my career to be. Watching my hosts care for their patients not only helped me think about what I might enjoy doing, but how I'm being called to be the hands of Jesus to others in my future after high school in several ways. One of those ways was that during my internship, I got to see such selfless care of patients at both my locations. For example, days at the hospital when my host and I didn't eat lunch till about 2 p.m. because we were busy caring for patients, or seeing the relationships built between my host and her patients at the PT clinic through hours of care and instruction. This was a good reminder to me that God shows us this same selfless care, and we are called in turn to show this care to others. In addition to helping me think about how I can be a servant to those around me, my internship experience allowed me to see God's power and love exhibited during my time with the labor and delivery nurse. So many things can go wrong during pregnancy and birth. Infants are so fragile, and something that seems like no big deal to an adult could easily be fatal to a newborn. And yet I got to see several expectant parents welcome healthy babies into their families. Watching this left me in awe of God's artistic expression through humans and his love and care for each person on this earth. This experience led me to worship Christ for sustaining me through the tenuous newborn stage, when any small thing could be fatal into childhood and beyond, and he's done the same for each of you. It reminded me that just as he sustained those infants through every moment of their new lives, he sustains all of us too, giving us what we need for each day.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ethan Chen, and I was in the Capturing Winterim course that helped create the social media posts and video for all of the Winterim. Thank you to all students and staff that have submitted photographs for the annual photo contest. The staff have already voted out the submissions, and we have a handful of winners. The winners for best course photos are Sonia Tatko, life skills in skiing, Mrs. Meanberg, live camera actions, and Michaela Wingbeek for dogs. Thank you very much.
We also have the winners for the best trip photos. Those winners are Mr. Van Harn, Grand Canyon Backpacking, Ruby Steger, Honduras, and Mr. Quist, Costa Rica.
What's up? We got a few less intern submissions, but the winner for best intern photo is Greta Draft. All the winners can come by the Winterim office to pick up their gift card prizes. Also, if you want to see more photos and videos for Winterim 2026, you should follow all of our social media on Instagram and Facebook. So go follow that.
This Thursday, we'll have a Winterim-themed community time where we'll announce the travel opportunities for 2027. Begin talking to your parents and guardians about whether travel during January 2027 will be an option for you. You may go in peace.